Today we're talking about calories and hormones for female weight loss and what no one talks about when it comes to female weight loss. So listen up. If you're somebody who has been trying to lose weight and you're frustrated trying to figure out how to lose weight, cutting carbs, doing sugar detoxes, cleanses, diet pills, surgeries, jumping from low carb to keto to paleo vegan, if you struggle with cravings, if you struggle with knowing what to eat for you or how many calories you need to watch this video. Because if you're really trying to lose weight and you're feeling uncomfortable in your body and embarrassed by your weight and tired of feeling undisciplined and lacking willpower and motivation, the good news is you are not broken. You are 100% capable of reaching your weight loss goals. None of these things that I just mentioned are the problem. They're symptoms of a bigger problem that I see going on, and it's called dieting. In this 5-part video series, I'm going to show you how to shift away from these quick fix diets that really don't get you permanent weight loss results. And I'm going to talk to you about 5 myths that are really sabotaging your success at losing weight. And once you shift, you're going to feel really in control over what you eat and your weight, and you're just going to feel free from food, and you're going to feel comfortable in your body and so much more energized. And you can finally stop researching all this information online so that you can live a life that you love and wake up every day with more energy, sleeping better throughout the night, and even feel motivated to do things that you never thought you could do before. Today I'm going to talk to you about calories and the truth about calories and hormones for female weight loss that no one talks about. It's the first video in this 5-part training series that I'm going to give to you for free. First, you must absolutely understand that calories are important for weight loss, but there's a huge myth around calories you really must understand if you're a woman over 35 trying to lose weight. But first, if you're new to me, my name is Megan Olson. I'm a nutrition practitioner and I help women over 35 lose 20 to 50 or more pounds and keep it off for good. Now, who's ready to talk about calories and hormones? Give me a yes in the comments and tell me you're ready to talk about this. All right, so here is the thing that you really must understand about calories, okay? You need to have the right amount of calories for you and for your goals. So we hear a lot of this stuff out there in the media about 1,200 calories. Maybe even your doctor has talked to you about it. The amount of calories that you get is very individual to you, and it's really critical you understand this if you're trying to lose weight. You can't just like throw a number at the wall and say, I'm just going to go for 1,200 calories, okay? 1,200 calories or these extreme low calorie diets really are not enough food for the majority of women out there. If you're a woman over 35 with 20 to 50 or more pounds to lose and you're eating below what your body really needs, and you're exercising and you're fasting and you're cutting food groups like carbs and fat and doing keto and cleanses and all the things, I want you to really kind of stop right now and ask yourself, does it make sense what I'm doing? Is it something I can really maintain and do for the rest of my life? Because if it isn't, then it's not going to get you the permanent weight loss, right? Think about how great it would feel to just be free of food, to not have to think about food, and everything just be so routine and habitual for you. That's what happens for my clients, okay? Every day I really hear from women that they're struggling so much with food and losing weight. And a lot of these women, when they come to me, they're not eating very much food, right? They're really eating below what their body needs, and that's something that's really important to understand. Many of these women are tracking what they eat. They're not fast food eaters. They're maybe even counting macros, which is advanced nutrition. Most of them are active and exercising, and they're eating pretty much healthy foods. But guess what? When you are not eating enough calories for your individual body's need, your body goes into a stress response. Dieting is a stress response. So you never want to diet for too long or be in a calorie deficit for too long because it adds stress to the body. And the female body is particularly sensitive to stress. Exercise is also a stress on the body. So here's the thing. When you do not eat enough food for your body, it causes your hormones, specifically your metabolic hormones and your stress hormones, to work against you. So you may be finding that you're eating less food, you're working out all the time, and nothing's happening. And maybe even you're gaining weight, okay? The reason you're gaining weight is because you're not eating enough food and you're exercising, causing the stress response, which is making this hormonal kind of nightmare in your body, okay? And I see it all the time. So if it's you, you really have to stop and kind of reflect on what's going on with you specifically, because everybody's different, right? So again, this all goes back to hormones. So just focusing on calories is never enough when it comes to the female weight loss. We have to focus on the hormone side of it as well. And I'm talking about hormones like insulin, leptin, ghrelin, and cortisol. I'm not sure if you've heard of these hormones before, but no one really talks about them, right? These are your metabolic hormones, and they are responsible for how you store fat, how you burn fat, how well your thyroid functions, how much energy you have, and what your mood and cravings are going to be like. And the thing that is so important, again, for you to understand as a woman is that at any stage of your life, particularly after the age of 35, because of declining hormones, your metabolism is going to be very adaptive, okay? It's kind of like a thermostat. It adapts up and down. So your metabolism adjusts what's called your resting metabolism. So when you do something like eating, 800, 900, 1200 calories and you're not fueling your body for your resting metabolism, your bodily functions are going to slow down and it's going to impact those hormones. So if you've ever done maybe a diet in the past, you may have noticed that, you were kind of losing weight for a while and then suddenly you just really plateaued and you're like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. Why am I plateauing? Right? Nothing you were eating changed. Your exercise routine didn't change. And what this means is that your metabolism adapted to whatever it was that you were doing. So think of your metabolism again like a thermostat. It's not broken, it just kind of moves up and down depending on what is going on in your life and how much fuel you're giving your body. And it also adjusts based on your stress level. And what you really must understand about your body is that you have a bare minimum amount of calories that you need just to survive, and that is your resting metabolism. What most women do is they're eating below their resting metabolism. So if you go into MyFitnessPal, you go into a Lose It app, it's going to calculate a number for you. Most of the time, the number that those apps are calculating is your resting metabolism. And so then you're taking 500 calories off of that and you're eating way below where your metabolism should be. Your resting metabolism is the bare minimum that you need to survive. You always need to be eating that number, regardless of what your goal is. So if your goal is to lose weight, you should always be eating above the resting metabolism. If you don't eat above the resting metabolism, you're going to have things like low energy, lots of fatigue, cravings, especially for high sugary foods. You're not going to sleep well, maybe have night sweats, you're going to feel moody, you may even have reproductive issues, thyroid problems, and it's very common to also have digestive issues with this. And there's actually a lot of really good research that backs everything that I'm saying. A study published in 2017 in Perspective Psychology showed that by reducing calorie intake, the body over time adapts by lowering resting metabolism. What this means is that your body becomes more efficient in utilizing fewer calories from food to preserve fat loss. So this is why many women plateau in their weight loss journey, because the metabolism adapts just like a thermostat. And I see way too many women who are eating well below their RMR, their resting metabolism. It's also known as RMR. And when you're eating below that number, your body goes into a stress response, okay? And it will increase your hunger hormones. So you get cravings and you're gonna store more fat. And additionally, your body is also going to lower how much active thyroid hormone that your body converts. So if you're a woman who has hypothyroidism or Hashimoto's disease and you're struggling to lose weight, it's possible that there's way too much stress in your body going on, especially if you're eating too few calories and exercising all the time and maybe having a really stressful life. And then you're also dealing with the immune system issues on top of it. So it's quite common for women who are in these kind of extreme calorie deficits or doing the 1200 calorie diet, kind of generically, and it may not be the right number of calories for them. It's really common for them to have reproductive issues, bloating, constipation. And sometimes these women even believe that they had food sensitivity issues, but the real issue really really isn't any of those things. None of those things are generally the root cause. The root cause is simply not fueling your body with enough food and enough of the right food to keep your hormones happy and to stay above your resting metabolism. So another study from 2011 in the New England Journal of Medicine actually showed that your appetite hormones, leptin and ghrelin, they get stimulated when you eat too few calories. And these are stimulated to increase your body weight and return it to its original size. So this is why you may have noticed that you got really hungry, especially for high carbs and high sugar, when you have done a diet. Maybe you did really well for a few days and then bam, one day you were just like starving and you were just binging and you thought it was because you had no willpower. It's not willpower. It's you're doing things that are working against your body's physiology. So it's really important that you understand your physiology so you can work with it, not against it. And what I see most women doing in my practice is they're just ignoring these important symptoms and simply trying to rely on willpower to get through it. They look at the scale and they see that the scale has stopped going down and they think, oh, I may be doing something wrong. I'm failing. They exercise more, they fast, they cut out carbs, and they do more research online. And this just gets them into more of a vicious cycle of dieting and stress with their body and their hormones. So, psychologically, when we're thinking about losing weight, we always believe that we need to eat less and exercise a lot, right? And if you're a woman who's been dieting for quite some time, maybe many years or even decades, you need to seriously reflect on this and critically analyze your situation because everyone is different. But I will tell you that 85 to 90% of the women who come to me, it's often the reverse. They need to eat more food and more of the right foods to fuel their body and feel great, not less. And sometimes that also means really looking at your lifestyle and stressing out way less and exercising way less too. So instead of looking at weight loss as deprivation for hating your body for the size that it is, you need to really come at this from a smart place. How can I fuel my body so I can feel great and energized and give my hormones the right signals so that I can lose weight and feel vibrant and wonderful? You should always have great energy, even when you're losing weight, okay? All my clients will tell you that they eat a lot of food and they feel great. And the best way we have really seen that calories in, calories out, focusing on that for weight loss alone being debunked is The Biggest Loser. I don't know if you've seen that show, but the people on that show had a lot of weight to lose and they were put on extremely low calorie diets with several hours of exercising in a short period of time. And a 2016 study in the journal Obesity, researchers actually followed 14 contestants during and after a season of the show. And contestants experienced a drastic weight loss, losing on average more than 100 pounds each. And by the final weigh-in, contestants' leptin levels, a very important hormone, had plummeted. So they had very little of this important hormone, making them constantly hungry and having cravings. And in addition to that, their metabolism had adapted. And so they weren't converting as much active thyroid hormone. And in other words, everything had basically slowed down. So the Harvard Medical School actually chimed in on this study and said drastic weight loss in a short amount of time comes with a price. Whether you're trying to lose 10 pounds or 50, slow and steady is much more effective because gradual weight loss doesn't cause the extreme changes in hunger hormones and the slow metabolism seen with The Biggest Loser. You're less likely to regain weight with a slower route. Now I'm going to stop for a minute. I want you to really truly ask yourself, how long have you been in this cycle of trying to lose weight, trying to eat less, exercise more, and has it really given you the permanent weight loss? If it hasn't, then you have to do something different. And that might start with changing your attitude, changing your stress, and just getting smarter about your approach, okay? Because eating less, exercising more is not going to get you there. It's going to be a recipe for damaging those metabolic hormones and having your metabolism adapt. And we never want that to happen. Your goal should always be to eat as much food as possible and still lose weight. That's the best scenario, and that's what I want for all of my clients. So weight loss is very individual. And if there's anything you take away from this video, it's that everybody has an individual resting metabolism that is specific to them. And I mentioned earlier that, most women will just go for like a 1,200 calorie diet because we have just heard this for so long, and it's not appropriate for everyone. 1,200 calories for most women who are of average height is way too few calories. Okay, that's what a toddler eats. And so, if you're a grown woman of average height, that's not going to be enough food for you. And it's just a matter of time before your metabolism adapts and slows down, and you will be stricken with hunger and cravings that you will not be able to willpower your way through. Now, if your doctor is telling you to go on a 1,200 calorie diet, which I've had several people tell me that, I've even had a client tell me her doctor put her on a 900 calorie diet, which was, whoa, crazy low. But if your doctor does tell you that, what I recommend you do is you calculate your resting metabolism. Google it, get the calculation, calculate your resting metabolism, and figure out where you should be. And if it's above 1,200 calories, then you shouldn't be listening to your doctor. You're going to mess up your hormones even more if you go on that kind of diet. It's not going to be sustainable, okay? Like I said earlier, if you eat below your resting metabolism, your body will experience a stress response. Cortisol is a stress hormone. And so when we get stressed out, it's automatically going to cause a ripple effect. Cortisol is going to go up, insulin's going to go up, and then we're also going to have increased cravings from the changes with leptin and ghrelin. So many women do not realize this. They don't realize the importance of the hormonal side of the equation, and they only focus on the numbers. We have to think about both, ladies, in order to get permanent weight loss that makes you feel vibrant and great. So I hope that this was helpful for you, and maybe that you can see how you have been working against yourself, maybe not working with your body while you've been trying to lose weight. And my goal for you is to be able to lose weight and feel great. So everyone thinks that calories in, calories out, and it's just that simple when it comes to weight loss. It's not, especially for women, and especially for women over 35. This is a myth, and this is what I'm trying to tell you today. So, remember, nutrition is a very deep and rich field, and many of us like to kind of oversimplify it, but it's way more complicated than most people understand. And when you have a very specific goal like losing weight, you have to take a different approach versus somebody who has a goal to run a marathon. So nutrition is going to be dependent on what your goal is. And if your goal is to lose weight and feel great, then you have to take a calorie plus a hormones approach to your weight loss. All right, I hope that was helpful. Drop any comments or questions that you have in the comments below if you made it this far. Stay tuned. Part 2 of this 5-part series is coming tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to be talking about the surprising truth about carbs and weight loss. And if you love carbs, you're going to want to watch this video. And again, if you're a woman over 35 and you're ready to jumpstart your weight loss, I have a free class right above this video. Click on that free class, go watch it. It's got tons of helpful information in that class for you so you can work smarter and not work against your body. I'll talk to you soon.